because you know what? You're gonna be losing
Sounds like
people.
America.
No, it's the world. Because when you look, I'm like, it's the world. Because it's like, because in the game, it makes sense. You start a war with another country. That means you're going to be losing. You're going to be building military. You're going to start a war. You're going to have a deep defense. You're going to take other people in, and you can lose some people along the way. You know what? It's a win-win. Even if people die, that means people are going to start appreciating being back.
Thought
It is
the
fucked
whole
up.
idea of you playing games is to escape reality. This man is leaving reality to make another virtual reality.
Man, and it's scary, and it's like it kind of like with money, and of course everything's supposed to be ideal and everything perfect. And when you live in, like, for instance, to live in that, and it's been said, because everything that I'm saying while I'm playing this game, it's been said already before. I mean, philosophy, that
Mhm,
for people to live in a culture, high advanced place with peace, like what Rome was,
mhm.
you have to remember it's people out here that was killing other people. You don't pay, you just turn your back to it. While you live in lavish and living good, everything's well. But you have to understand your people, other people that's from the same culture, same gang you from, out here committing crimes left and right against the world. And it's like, but you like, it's like a necessary evil. Just like when white women, when their husbands were fucking hanging black people shit left and right, and they your hands are just as dirty. Simple as
In
that.
the words of Baylor the Great, out here set tripping.
I hit that motherfucker said tripping. Oh my god! But shout out to Sid Meier's Civilization. Been popping since the early '90s. Like on
Mm-mm-mm.
Civ 6 now. It's a cool game. A lot of computer nerds, including myself, play it. It's on the
Mhm.
PS4 as well. But it really would, like, this world is crazy, and it's like, is this game like setting you up? But it's not even setting you up. It's giving you free will to make a choice. You don't have to fight anyone. But
Mhm.
when people, if you don't have a strong army,
You
and
get your
let's
shit
say,
took.
man, it be so cold blooded. You be thinking everything cool. You over here, your people happy.
Making a
Y'all
garden.
reading, y'all, yeah, nerds and stuff reading. Y'all got philosophers. They'll come, like, it happened just like this. It'll be like another country. Let's say Russia come by, like, oh, what's up? We found you. How you doing,
Mhm.
man? Hey, would you like to give us some of your knowledge? My people don't know how to. My people don't know much about physics. We still just count numbers. We just learned what a calculator was. How
Mhm.
about you give me that physics? Then they're
Mm.
gonna ask nicely first. Then you're like, all right, we gonna run up in your shit. Like, like, and what you gonna do
Ah,
about it? What's your army looking like? And
no.
and the biggest thing what I do, this is me, everybody can play differently, is build my army first. I want a badass army. So if you run up in my shit, you'll get handled quickly.
Mm.
And I'm always like, I don't bother nobody. But if you first, when you come with that silly shit, I'm taking your whole shit. I'm taking everybody. You shouldn't have started it. That's how I always run. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Check it out. Okay. Stop. Sorry.
And this is
Uh,
Mr. D713, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He has levels.
Everything culture.
Levels, okay?
You have levels too. I
I
think
do
we
have
both have our
levels. I
levels.
do have
I think we
levels.
both have our levels.
Well, officially, welcome to She Gets a Podcast. You know, who is Drake? Mr. D713.
Oh my
Now,
goodness.
y'all, this is Pod Family, okay? Family to the podcast land. My little
Can they see
clique, my
this?
little set, you know what I'm saying?
What's
Um,
up?
Mr. D713 Drake has a great podcast called Everything Culture. How I said it,
Mm,
Everything Culture. So,
country.
on your Twitter and on your IG, please look up at every THG culture. Okay.
That's
And that is
and
on
that's
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And on IG is everything culture. Okay. Hashtag
Yes.
it, find it on your podcast platforms. Check out episodes, download it, and subscribe. And don't forget to rate him.
We out here.
Yes. All right. And he has an amazing team with all the pod family supporting each other. And he has
Mm,
some amazing merch on the way. So y'all just
mm.
keep out a look. He has amazing seasons upon the way. Okay. So
Oh yeah.
I wanted to dig into
Season 3,
who,
baby.
you know what I'm saying? It's coming. I wanted y'all to figure
See, I was
out
about
who
to hit a
Drake is.
level right there. I was going to hit a level right there. I'm always like, man, I can say I'm always coming, but that's a different situation. Let's
Oh
not. Let's not.
man, this
Peace, keep
this is
ski.
not the show for
Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool,
the
cool.
whole back.
I digress.
I
I
think I'm gonna
digress.
behave myself this episode.
Hey, oh, wait. Okay, let's
I
behave.
think. I think. All right. So I feel like on your show, you're asking. Look at me.
Throw that K in there.
People, great questions, right? You do the best digging into people finding levels about themselves. So I wanted to dig into who is Drake. All right.
Oh shit. Am I gonna cry? Okay, okay, let's
Um,
go.
it's not, I'm not gonna dig in like you dig in, but
I
I'm
don't be me to dig in. Ask open-ended questions, y'all. People can respond how they want to respond. It's just sometimes they respond in a way like, "Oh, this is where we're going." Okay, let's
yeah.
do it.
So I wanted to do is a bit of who Drake is and a bit
Okay.
of Black History Month, but really our
Mm,
history is every month. All
I
right.
love my people.
So Drake, how are you doing today?
Man, I am good. I am good. I just jumped off a Clubhouse. You know how things can go. When I rolled in here, I was on Clubhouse. They're like, "Don't leave." I'm like, "I
For
gotta
how
go. I
long?
got
But you
things
had
to
a
do."
room?
I'm also a moderator of another room called Happy Hour, and it's
Mm.
unique because they don't even know I have a happy hour on my Sundays, but they do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We got CJ, and we have some good topics and conversations, and it sometimes it's cool for me. Like if you ever need me as a moderator, I just slide in. I'm there. You
He's
know,
a
I'm cool.
great clubhouse moderator.
You know, I
Okay.
just try to, and I learned like today it was about women balancing business and being balancing business and family these
Mm.
days. And it was a good, like my thing is number one, it says specifically women. So guess
Hmm.
what my goal was? To shut up. So I was just like listening.
He
Mm.
came in there
And
with a plan.
yeah, oh absolutely. Not until a
Yeah.
woman said, fellas, what do y'all think? Oh, it's our time, guys. Okay. A lot of guys don't know how to do that.
No, they like to talk over other women and then it turns into a fight.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I just let them go.
So
But
my next
it's a good
question for
day
you
though.
is how has this pandemic been treating you?
Man, the pandemic actually was treating me well. I ain't gonna
Hmm.
complain about this pandemic. I could, but I'm not. The wife
Yeah.
and I have been holding up together. I got her, she got me.
Hmm.
We got one another, so we haven't choked each other out at all. We haven't thought about choking each other out, to my knowledge.
I feel like I
Um,
tell you this all the time, but I really love how you love on your wife.
Thank
I
you. I
think it's
enjoy
very
loving
sweet.
on her too.
I think it's sweet.
Like, yeah, I try. Even though we got a unique relationship because it's our relationship.
Hmm.
um it was she said I ain't gonna say everything we be saying because other people want to know how to handle when
Yeah.
your significant other say things like to you from both sides. I say crazy
Right.
stuff, she say crazy stuff, but that's our language, how we speak to one another.
Hmm.
And I would just say, like, man, during this, like, I started working a week before the pandemic. I
Hmm.
was unemployed for the longest time in my life for 6 months. Because I
Hello.
moved to a whole different city. I was like, I didn't have any friends up here. Didn't have a favorite happy hour spot. I was like, man, this shit sucks. My main thing for 6 months when I got here was driving my wife to work, picking her up, and working out.
Listen,
So, and
Drake went
cooking
from
and
south
cooking.
south to north north. Okay,
You
south south
did,
meaning
you did.
Texas. Okay, to north
Hmm.
north meaning Washington, not DC,
For
but
real.
Washington.
The Pacific
Yeah.
Northwest. It is. And it was a culture shock, and I know it's something for us. I like these girls, but feel like when before the pandemic, felt like I was living in the pandemic already. What people are going through is what I was
Yeah.
going through 6 months prior. You know,
Wow.
so I'm like, so me rolling into this, I'm like, I'm just basically doing what I was doing when I got here. Now I'm getting a check doing it,
Oh, that's
and
good.
everybody got to go through it as well.
Yeah.
you know, but
Adjustments.
I'm building more on the podcast, taking care of opportunity, making more relationships with people. Um, I just find out the gyms are opening back up or are
You
open.
excited
So,
about this gym
oh
thing?
my God, y'all about to see a whole swole ass individual about to start coming through. It's like, I'm like, you think y'all see me. I'm about to start doing workouts and stuff like that, trying to find a way to record it. But Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all about to see me. Y'all about to see a whole new breed. I'm stepping into
Okay.
35, so I'm
Excuse
excited
me.
for it.
Excuse me. All right. So since you mentioned it, what was the latest episode of Everything Culture? And what can you tell us about
Hmm.
your show?
The latest full episode,
Mm-hmm.
it was, oh my gosh, I was happy. I was happy getting it out. I don't have any recorded. I have makings of you. So the how I
Mm-hmm.
work, you have the makings of you, which
Right.
are episodes, but they're more like intro episodes. They're like
Yeah.
bonus. Okay. Then I have like the full topic episode when we have like a certain thing we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the last topic episode is with the Vibe Killer podcast, and we're talking about just this is recorded in September and just released in February. No, it was released at the end of January. But we were talking about Juneteenth, the importance of it. We were talking about the fear of flying podcast. And we're talking about podcasts. We're talking about like when I say fear of flying, the fear of starting your own business,
Right.
leaving that 9 to 5 world, leaving behind or sacrificing some of the luxuries we have in life. And what else we touched on? Um, uh, it was something else that was really cool. We touched on that was hilarious. Juneteenth podcast and leaving, and just talking about overall coming from a racist hometown and things too.
Mm.
So we touched on a few of those other things. And honestly, that could have been a 2-part episode. We
Mm-hmm.
talked for like another 2 hours after that. And I was like, okay, there's too much. But the other one was we were talking about relationships and some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we enjoyed that conversation because of the perspective coming from 2 women and 2 men, both from East Texas, and seeing our different point of views, even though we come from the same area in life,
Yeah.
but now we're at later on where we're at. So that once again how the show works. But with that was the topic of the show. But the makings of you sitting down with Ashley and Kim, getting to know a little bit more about their childhood upbringing. And they're
Mm-hmm.
both podcasters from the same show. But when doing the makings of you, it was like they're so different. Their upbringings are so different. One come from a 2-parent home,
Mm-hmm.
never really had to ask for much in life. Family provided whatever she needed. I always ask this question when I asked, did you have chores growing up? A lot of people like, duh, everybody had chores growing up. She like, not really. And I hear that too. I like, that's why I love doing it. You'd be surprised until you actually talk to someone really what their perspectives are. Because we're so quick to assume, obviously, because they share the same color, the same hair, or come from the same area. They're doing the
Yeah.
same thing I do. So obviously you got to understand where I come from. And the other one was like, man, the chores, I had buco chores. I had to do this, I had to do that. And I hate, like, now as an adult, it was unique, especially when we asked these questions in the makings of you, then transitioning into the episode. Some people actually, oh, and Shan is the very next making of you, by the way, y'all. So y'all got to get ready for that.
Ooh.
And the thing about it is just hearing like how they came up and how their personalities, when did it start to form.
Mm-hmm.
A question that I ask on the show that I love is, when did you realize you were different?
Oh.
Man. And that, I don't know if it was on when we did our show, but I know I
I
added
want to
that
say I
in.
think it is, but and I think I answered. I've always been like this.
See,
So
but do you feel me?
yeah.
And it's different from and then some people are thrown back, some people answer immediately,
Mm-hmm.
and because I think of it myself, when did I realize I was different? I like, man. And it's really, the question really forms from, when did you realize, when did somebody signify that you were black? When did somebody signify that you were fat? When did someone signify that
Mm-hmm.
you were not attractive? When did somebody signify that you were attractive? When did someone signify that something about you that kind of molded you to who you are? Either am I making sense here?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, all my questions come from a different, deeper meaning. Even though I can talk shit, I can play, do all this and that, but
Right.
I really do try to have, like, man, I'm really thinking. I'm a huge thinker. I don't usually, when a situation happens,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think of, I think of how, but I also think of why. That
All
makes
right.
sense.
So I'm gonna have to stop you because you snowballing my next question. And
Okay, stop
my
me.
next question was, I don't want to stop you, but my next question was, where where you're from and how you your upbringing was. How has that shaped you into the man you are today?
Okay. So I was born Fort Worth, Texas, raised Tyler, Texas, and I spent my adult life in Houston, Texas.
Hmm.
But being raised in Tyler, Texas, um, ooh, I would say it was a can't say single parent because I had my grandparents. I was raised in a multi-family home.
Hmm.
Had my mother, my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, and my maternal uncle that would be in and out from time to time. Then after my eighth grade year, at the age of 12, I started living with my maternal aunt.
Hmm.
And so that was a lot with my upbringing. So up with all within my upbringing, I saw um, verbal abuse, neglect. I saw love, happiness. I saw, laughter. I saw anger. I saw sadness. Um, I saw a lot of misunderstanding. I saw substance abuse, a lot
Hmm.
of substance abuse. I saw mismanagement of money. I saw just a lot goes in the family dynamic. So I was exposed to a lot at a young age.
Hmm.
A lot. My mother started it, and it kind of went into with my. I wasn't baby, if that makes sense. I wasn't
Yeah.
given that position to relax. I was given that, hey, you got to be strong.
So, do
So
you
it
feel
was
like you were rushed to grow up, or you felt like they were just?
absolutely,
Mm,
absolutely. And I sit back and think, do I regret it?
that's what I was about
And
to ask you.
yeah. Oh, sorry for snowballing, but like it is. I think I usually think even to myself, like unless you know me, you would think I'm full of cap. You think I'm
Yeah.
bullshit. And a lot of people think I'm man. And I sit back and I don't. I'm not like this all the time. I usually try to say this to understand. I try to empathize with people. I understand where you're coming from, but sometimes I may come off a little bit facetious or braggadocious if it makes sense. But like my sister's on Clubhouse now, and it was so funny how when she joined and she like, he ain't lying about shit. He been through a lot. He always been telling people what to do in life ever since he was a little kid because
Is your
he
sister
he
older or younger?
younger. Like she's like a year, almost 2 years younger than me. But she know, even though we wasn't raised together, but she knows when I come, all my people in my family, they know I always had an old soul. I think you said
Yes.
it about me recently.
Yes.
You think, like, if you, I always had a very dramatic and old soul, if that makes sense. And it's weird to hear those two together because I joke, I gotta find that picture. I gotta find that picture somewhere. I saw it not too long ago. One of my cousins sent it to me that I was talking about. We were talking about knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not homosexual, but I was flamboyant as a kid, and I don't
Hmm.
mean like, hey, but
Yeah.
I was like star of the show,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and it came to the point certain things in life happened where I felt my that glow of mine was dimmer because I had so much responsibility put on my shoulders.
Hmm.
From taking care of my grandfather and my grandmother. My grandma had Alzheimer's. My grandfather, I always had to change his diaper,
Hmm.
change his urinal, flip him over, um, make sure to be the protector of the home, and make good grades on top of that, and just be responsible for my badass brother. All
Yeah.
these type of things fell on the shoulders of a 7, 8 year old, 9 year old. So when I got to a certain age, I can admit now that I was depressed when I was just tired of everyone.
Hmm.
I wasn't on no Michael Jackson shit. I was more on a F everybody, you
Hmm.
know. Don't come close to me. I'm here for my work. I'm here to be successful. If you're not in my way, and this is me, like the mindset a lot of guys have in their adult life was a
Hmm.
mindset I had as a child. And that's why when I see some people doing certain things, I'm like, you say you want it, but how bad do you really want it? I even say it to
Yeah.
myself. And
Yeah.
occasionally I'm like, I don't want it that bad. And it's okay. you know,
Hmm.
and it's okay because the world puts so much on other people's shoulders where you can't bear it. And that's why I say I can't go and say I regret it because a lot of adults, a lot of men and women can't handle this type of stress. And I was handling this stress at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way God made me, and God continued to make me. So it's just that's just the beauty of life that we have.
Yeah.
So I don't know what is gonna have next, what's next up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my main thing, I just got to be responsible for myself
Yeah.
and responsible who I allow in my circle. If that makes sense. So allowing my life. So I appreciate having you in my life. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
me too. You have a very concerned grandfather spirit about you. And I need
That's
you
what
to
I've
take that
always
as a
raised.
compliment. It means
Thank you.
like
I
you,
do.
you instantly make people feel comforted and protected.
Well, you should be.
Yeah.
And and I don't mean that just because you're a woman. I mean that as a person. You should have some type of,
Mm-hmm.
well, well, you should. It's strong when I mean strongly, because
Yeah.
the world is not here for it. The world is
Mm-hmm.
not that for you.
Yeah.
Like, so when you come across other people that celebrate you and
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you and know who you for, you better keep them people around you. Like I
Yeah,
said,
man. Like today when
'cause
I got that package. I got a package today from a couple that does a podcast, Black Love Matters. Shout out to Niram and
what's up,
Nyambi.
y'all?
It's a great podcast, and I found it while I'm just like
On
looking
stereo.
up. No,
They
they're
on
not on
stereo, right?
stereo. They're on every podcast platform. It's Black with no K Matters. Love Matters podcast, and
Let's look these people up.
they're amazing. And I just started listening to them in I want to say 2018, and they just became like a part of my morning, a part of my Wednesday, a part of my Friday, and it just
Found out of Detroit.
listen. I love them. I love them, and they just really just talked about raw topics and their move and them.
Episode 374. Look
Listen,
at them.
so
Okay.
good, so good. So they're real good people, and they sent me a package today, and I did not know it was coming. I did not know what was going to be in it, and I wasn't expecting it. And I'm here training, and I'm like, tears are falling up out my face, and I'm just like, let me turn off my camera. I was just like, what is this package? But I meet so many great people through podcasting, and it's just like, okay, all right, let me just take this in. But even though your childhood was like it was,
Hmm.
can you give me two fun facts about your childhood?
Man, fun. Okay. Dang,
Yes,
fun.
find it.
Well, I know. Let me go back. Dang. Because I had a lot of fun stuff. It was, like I was saying, it was a lot of laughter, a whole
Yeah.
lot of laughter. Um, but absolute fun. Um, a fun fact. Fun fact. I'll never forget. What did I win it for? I built something. Okay, fun fact. I was pretty smart. I would say math was my thing. I love math. I was so that's just something as I know it's a nerd fact. How about that?
Nerd
But
alert.
I know I used to be in algebra competitions when
Wow.
I was coming up,
Wow.
and that was my fun, a lot of fun. Let's see. I was, I played a little bit of football. I had a full beard at the age of 13.
What?
That's how that go. Yeah. So I never looked my age. So that, well, I didn't. I stopped looking my age at the age of 13. Like my glow up happened between the age of 12 and 13.
There's this
Heavily
video
glow up.
going around, right? On
Uh,
on Instagram where this man took his son to barbershop and put on a faux beard.
oh my god.
The boy can't be more than 10, Drake. And he has this
Hey.
beard. And I'm just like, my son wanted a beard, so I let him get a beard. His mom gonna kill me. I'm just like, oh my God.
Hey, shout out to my brothers out there with faux beards, man. Live y'all life. Don't let nobody shame y'all. Do y'all thing, man. Y'all gonna be in style one day.
That's
Um,
crazy.
like my wife always joke about, like she loved my cheeks.
Yeah.
And like if I shave my beard off, I would probably I would look young as hell. Like really, like I have an extreme baby face,
Mm-hmm.
and but I already know like I shave the beard off. It's like a lot of people are like, no, I go from handsome to cute real quick.
Oh man.
Like adorable there.
Yeah.
But nah, and another let's say a fun fact. Dang, other than like made a lot of good grades when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Football, baseball. Um oh, fun fact, I was part of a organization in high school by the name of Lions Club, which it was kind of
Mm.
like a gentleman's club. And I don't mean like a
What?
strip club.
I was about to
I
say,
mean
wait a
like
minute.
I don't really fix that. It was like an etiquette club
Okay.
where we would raise and take down the flag each day. We'll put the marquee in front of school.
Okay.
We would dress and tie. I used to model. I used to model.
What?
Like, did you like Life Touch? Like, I remember when I was working, I didn't even know they were doing it. They
Mm-hmm.
put my pictures up in the wall, like the like huge, big
They didn't
picture when you
ask
walk
her.
in. You know how black, you know how they get us.
Don't read
I
the
probably
fine.
signed
Don't
off
read
on
the
it.
fine print.
Exactly. I was sorry, and
Oh
it made me
man.
think. My auntie sent me this picture. Oh, and I used to wear contacts.
I used to wear contacts too, but that's just in case I was trying to put them in and one fell and I couldn't find it. Like
I used to
now,
wear colored contacts.
I wore
Oh,
color
you talking about?
contacts
Okay,
too, but
okay,
they
okay.
weren't like bold color. There was like a lighter brown, so I could find
Yeah,
it.
I used to wear the hazels.
Oh Lord.
Since oh my goodness. Let me see if
Mm-mm.
I can. Oh my god. It was a life. It was a life.
Okay, look at Drake. Who is this? Oh
And like
man.
this is the one that had me in the mall and things. So this is me
Oh
my
wow.
senior year. This is my junior year.
Wow. You're like
I
two
know.
different people.
I know. I know. I know. But
Wow.
I was a homie
I'm
though.
sure. I'm sure. We're not even gonna dabble into
Mm-mm.
your
Mm-mm.
lady, but we go step into your other lady, which is my next question. What are three keys to having a balanced, happy, healthy friendship with your wife?
Well, I would go to pillars of everything culture, which are respect,
Yeah.
communication, and consistency. Um, have fun. Well, I can't just say have fun. Know what fun is to your person you with,
Mm-hmm.
and know if they like your type of fun too. Don't be afraid to do something different, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like my wife likes certain things, and she likes certain shows, and even me, like personally, y'all, I don't want to do some of the stuff. I
Yeah.
don't, but I'm gonna act like I like it with some of the stuff.
Yeah.
She act like she like it with some of the stuff when I'm doing it too. It's sacrifice. I think some sacrifice goes into having a happy relationship.
Mm.
Um, Giving them attention.
Yeah.
I make sure if anybody tell my wife she a bad bitch and fine as hell, it's gonna be me first of the damn thing in the
Listen,
morning.
listen, it could be like 17 of us in the Zoom, and Drake's wife would come home and he was like, I'll be right back. And he'll put down the headphones and be like, and then he'll come back like 15 minutes later. I had to go say hello to my wife, level 100.
Straight up, man. Cause it's like I think, man, like you have to make sure what's a priority in your life, man. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with work. Yeah, it's not only with y'all. It's like if I'm at work and my wife called me and something happened, bye y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Like I was having a conversation earlier with don't Clubhouse. It was people when you talk about a family, you gotta ask them what family look like.
Mm-hmm.
Um some people want the kids, some people want just the spouse, some people want I want both. But
Mm-hmm.
until I get the kids, she get all this attention. Like
Yeah.
and and I tell people we've had our conversations over in life, and being married and who to choose, but we made sure to go to marriage counseling. You have to understand I had my aunt, my sister's like, you put her in front of everybody else. That's what I'm supposed to do. Okay. That's
Right.
exactly what you're supposed to do. That is part of the rule book right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and don't tell your business to everybody. That's one thing we hold strong on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I joked around earlier. It was a meme going out that, and we both talk. We've been saying this. Like it's people going to be looking at her. It's people going to be looking at me. And
Mm-hmm.
they waiting for one of us to slip up just to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
our life hell.
yeah.
So and we all say it's Team Drake. No matter what happens, we the team, we the crew,
Mm-hmm.
we the clique. We
Okay.
the best, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you know,
All right. So I'm gonna read a quote, and I want you to tell me what it
uh,
means to you. Okay. We gonna switch
I
gears.
got
We
you.
in third gear now. All right. It says, "Our grand." Please check out She Gets It shop on Teespring. The website is in the description for this show. All right. I got merch on there for the show for those who would like to wear their support or show their support that way. You can support the She Gets It show and podcast and merch on that website. And if you can't get the website, just remember www.whoisshan.com, and you can support me on other shows too and other places to shop for merch. Let's get back to the show. Our fathers had to run, run, run. My generation's out of breath. We ain't running no more. By Stokely Carmichael. What does that mean to you?
Hmm. What was that middle part? Our grandfathers had to run, run, run until they're out of breath. We ain't running
He
no more.
said,
Yo,
my generations are basically out of breath. We ain't running no more.
I would take that more as into dealing with mediocrity,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. And I don't want to say that all of our grandfathers dealt with mediocrity, and I mean just injustice towards us, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's more we taking more of a stand, and that's why I say, shout out to Black Horror Humor. That's the other podcast I'm part of.
Mm-hmm.
I say all the time, if it's a boogeyman chasing after me or whatever's chasing after me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna run, run, run. But when I stop, I'm ready to fight. We go get straight to this, and it's not a slight to my grandfathers because they did what they got to do to survive because you got to fight
Mm-hmm.
or flight.
Right.
But sooner or later, we got to adjust and we got to find a different way to attack. Go from defensive to attack, going from evasive to attack.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I look at it. Because if you're not running, you obviously got to be fighting. Why are you running in the first place? That
Mm-hmm.
makes and we don't want to fight, but we're gonna fight if
Do
we
you
need to.
think the generations of today are running or fighting?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's necessary for both. Honestly, when I say the generations that we talk about for my culture is, I still say we're searching. But once we realize and we start having an organization to figure out which ones need to run
Mm-hmm.
and where they need to run, how they need to run, you know, and once like if you need to run to someone that's ready to fight, hey, we got to be prepared for that. But we can't down each other for having these different abilities as well. Because once again, I ain't running far. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the gym all the time. Like, and when it's time to run, I need somebody to maybe transfer a message for me. Running ain't bad.
Hmm. All right. So before I get into this other history like question, what is your why in life?
Ooh, my why in life. I
Your
like that
why in
question.
life.
That's hard for me. My why. Why am I living? I don't say that. Why am I here?
Why are you living?
Um,
Why are you doing? Why are you showing
all
up?
that. All that.
Yeah.
I got work to do.
Mm.
I got work to do. God put me here to do His work. Jesus Christ.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
either it be a representative not only to Him,
Mm-hmm.
be a representative now to the people of my skin color, my diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
Be a representative of the genitalia that I have and represent. Um, you know, that keeping the book, like I represent all these things, and the why and total of it is like, man, just be a better person every day. Make
Yeah.
somebody smile, make somebody happy. Um, make somebody. Hopefully, I can be somebody else's why. If that makes sense. I
Okay.
like check on my mentee. I'm one of those guys that some people may hate
Why you say
because
that?
man, because I've been seeing the little memes and stuff like that. I genuinely be like, man, why your heart filled with boo boo? Because like I call people random. I don't really delete a lot of numbers at my phone.
Yeah.
If I'm driving and I just got a little time, I'll call somebody I haven't talked to in years and like, hey, if this number still works, just checking on you. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want? And I sometimes I do mess with people. I
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, you ever thought about making more money? I'm joking. I'm joking. You tired of working at 9 to 5? Hey, I'm selling this tea.
Stupid.
I'm playing with you. I ain't selling no tea. I'll just kind of but they really be thrown off. But you haven't talked to me in years. I'm like, I'm legit. Like, I don't I don't believe in burning bridges. I don't know if that's an attachment issue I have. I don't think it's a
Mm-hmm.
problem. I
Yeah.
really believe I have, like, I can talk to someone I haven't met. Some of my friends and family we haven't talked in years. When we catch up, we laugh, we joke, and we may see talk in another 2 weeks. We may talk in
Mm-hmm.
another 2 months. We may talk in another 2 years. But I think we still have that relationship. While some people believe like people people just come and go in your life, and when they're gone, they're gone. You just keep going. And so I've seen people. Oh, I just hate when people just call me out the blue. What do you want? Like that relationship was dead. It's gone.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, you so negative. That's why
See,
I
I don't
like.
hate when people call me out the blue, but I hate when people call me out the blue and ask me for shit.
No, I'm not asking for nothing. I'm just.
No, but that's the part I hate. But
No,
anybody
I
could
agree
call me out
that,
the blue.
and that's why I be messing with them. I just like because I know that happens because it happened to me. So when I call and I'm like, hey, would you like to join this with me? I'm like, nah, I'm just messing with you. I just want to hear your voice, make sure you're still alive.
Yeah.
You know, somebody thinking of you more than anything
At
else.
the middle of last year, I made a vow with myself and
Mm,
myself. And I said,
okay.
Chantal, we not checking up on these ex specimens anymore. We're not trying to check the pulse. We just gonna leave it be.
Mm,
Because
mm.
I feel like sometimes when a woman that was in a relationship checks up on a man of the
When a
past,
woman's fed
they
up.
think we trying to, reverse things. No, I'm just making sure you okay and you good. That's it. So I had to stop checking up on people. And
Yeah,
sometimes
that
it's
makes
just healthier
sense.
not to check up. So,
That makes sense. Some
all
and
right.
some people don't need to be checked up on as well.
Listen,
That's like if I delete your number out my phone, you're deleted out my life.
facts.
Best of luck to you in your endeavors.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and
Like,
try again.
doo, doo, doo. Like,
For
oh,
real. All right. So, this next question is, if you had to choose between two great Black inventors getting their proper credit and a film, who would it be? Would it be Louis Latimer, who was an inventor and draftsman of the carbon filament and helped create the light bulb? And he was a drafter who designed designs behind the telephone. Or
kind of like
this
kind of
man,
like Malcolm X a little bit. Go
listen,
ahead.
this man is researching. Or would it be Marie Van Britton Brown? What a name. She was a
She
Black
just popped up.
nurse turned inventor who was behind peepholes, cameras, monitors, and the two-way microphone. She basically wanted to create a way to protect her home, which is now why we have the alarm system for homes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Did you
which
create the
film?
lock on door knob? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So, which film for which inventor would you pick if you had to choose between these two great Black inventors?
That's beautiful.
Because I just don't think we have
Can't
enough
do
movies.
both.
I
You know I got
mean,
now. So you know I got to do this. I haven't did my Black History post today. Oh, I really need to stop playing and do these things earlier because I'll be doing like
yeah.
late at night. But I love them.
I think
Um,
there's a lot of movies about Black greatness, but I don't think there's enough movies about the inventors of Black
agree,
people that we have the things today. So,
absolutely agree. Because I'm learning more and more out in my age of being 30. I want to teach these babies. I want to just
right,
ingrain it in them. I want to force it in your heads. Because
right.
we be learning all these damn fairy tales out here. This the
Listen,
truth. But
listen.
dang, Mary Van Britton Brown. She looks. She like it. Just feels like that would be a good movie to be about because she kind of
Hmm.
reminds me of. You watch Lovecraft Country, right?
Yes,
She even kind of got that hip a lot of look right now.
yeah. The book is horrible,
Um,
by the way.
I haven't read the book. Like
Ugh,
it's like oh my gosh. So
it's a
thank you for the
disappointment.
heads up. Thank you for the heads up. I just got finished reading Dune, and I'm like, I think the people in that book should be black. But anyway,
Mm.
I digress. But Lewis Howard Latimer, I've heard of him before.
Hmm.
I've never heard of Mary Van Britton Brown until like this weekend actually.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's just amazing how
1848.
she went from a nurse to doing all of this. I think that would be
Don't get me wrong. I
amazing
would like to see
transition.
both. I would like
Mhm.
to see both.
We know.
Flushing Queens. And is when he said Flushing Queens, he's not American, right?
I'm
Is
not
that Queens,
sure.
New York? Hold on, let me
Yes,
click on this.
that is Queens, New York.
So they're both from Queens. That's interesting.
Hmm.
That's cool.
Similar.
Navy when it's that okay. I'm gonna start off with saying I would watch I would if I was making the movie,
Yeah.
I would make Mary Van Britton Brown first if I had to
Mm.
go in that order. She lived for 77 years, close to
Hmm.
77 years. Born in 1922. I think her piece would be more accurate because people actually we all use a light bulb,
Yeah.
but that home security system, I think that'll be a whole unique way of why she needs it. And I would like to know the story. I wouldn't want to know the story. Why exactly did she create it? Did she create it like be living in black neighborhoods and just felt unsafe? Was it safe because of other black people? She was safe because of
Yeah.
white people? And how people utilize security systems for and look and we can dude, we
Ooh.
may need to cut this part out. I'm joking. We can leave it in, but for real, we could keep it
Yeah.
because this would be a good conversation to have, like with Amazon. I think Amazon could pick this up. I know you listening, motherfucker. Excuse my language.
Yeah. I mean, they should pick it up. Whoever can
because
give the
because
truest
peep
story
game.
should pick it up.
Well, man, I'm big on
Yeah.
we gotta tell these stories because Pete, look how man,
Hello,
like
Ava.
look how
Hello,
things
Ava.
yeah you feel me I'm like look how these things gonna start taking over because look
Yeah.
where the filament and light bulb so much and how often we still use it, but security systems, how that whole plan and how it's put together, how
Hmm.
your security system run your whole house now. For instance,
Listen.
Alexa, turn on lights, and boom, this come on.
Right.
I can say, Alexa, check my front door for this, and that. All these things, the intertwining of that mindset is so unique.
Mm.
And isn't Albert Brown and she's married with a husband, put him in. I've heard of him before too.
Who's her
Um,
husband?
Albert Brown.
Mm.
So they did together. So that's why I think I've heard of Albert Brown before I heard of Mary Van Britton Brown. So if we could put this together as a couple, a black couple coming together,
Boy,
building something like that,
would
how
be
often do you see
amazing.
that?
Right. There's
Yeah.
always one and one because, a
Mm-hmm.
black creator or a black inventor couldn't
Alexa, turn
successfully
off lights.
have they couldn't successfully have a good relationship. That's what is portrayed to me for us on film. So it's either they're by themselves and they going hard in what they want to create. I would love to see a couple do that.
And I sure like to see it because I was thinking about that with my wife and I. we talk about doing a show from time to time, but I would hate to be one of them corny, and I will say corny,
Hmm.
Instagram relationships. I'm like, we just go put a little bit out here for y'all. Y'all laugh, keep going.
Yeah.
But I would love to invent something with her. And like, I'm all for the business for together, being together. That's me.
Hmm. Hmm.
I believe that's success right there.
It is. It makes it easier.
It makes it fun.
So, lastly, as far as culture and being better people
Hmm.
and pouring back into, people around you to be the 1% that's not the same or assumed to be the same, what advice do you have for people right now?
As far as culture,
As far as like what's happening right now with the pandemic and, possibly losing people and really grabbing their day, like what's the best advice you can give to people right now?
it's gonna be all right. Keep your head up to the sky, cause everything's gonna be all right. Like if you're from Texas, you already know what that is. But man, seriously, everything will be okay, y'all.
Yeah,
Once again, my view is different. I didn't even mention much. I had a lot of death in my childhood.
I know you did.
People,
And that's why I specifically asked you those questions, because I think it's
um,
so easy for you to go through the
man,
things that really molded you to grow up faster, that it's hard to pick
mhm.
out the good things that you remember when you have all of that.
And I can be somewhat, and I worked on this at a young. I remember in high school, I had to work on how I approach people that deal with a person in death and life. This is in
Yeah.
high school, okay? And because when somebody will lose a mama or something, like, well, because I lost my mother in my freshman year in high school,
Hmm.
so my junior senior year when somebody else lost their mother, I'm like, it gonna be all right, player, suck it up. It gonna be hard,
Hmm.
but I put myself in my situation, like, man, but I also empathetic, like when I'm saying suck it up, it's gonna be okay because it will.
Yeah.
And I had to realize everybody's not built. Like I used to hate, hate, hate hearing this. Everybody's not built like you, Brandon.
Ugh.
Everybody's not like everybody is not as smart as you. Everybody's not as wise as you. Everybody's not as strong as you. I'm hearing this from adults, like
Hmm.
old. Not even, I'm talking about like people that was in their 70s back in it, like in their, or they still older now, and it's like you different. Like
Hmm.
you been through, like you different. And I'm like, and I used to say, I'm not different. This all everything I do is a choice. I
Hmm.
wake up every day and put my drawers on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. Then I'm gonna find
Sometimes I
out
don't.
everybody don't. Yeah, and that's
You
my
should have saw
point.
what I wore to work today.
See that, but that's my point. Everybody don't do that. When you
Yeah.
realize, okay, well, everybody don't do that. You know, it's hell. You know, a little different. And but I care. But when I tell you right now, when people just, I'm like, shout out to. I gotta send you the videos. I should, I'm gonna send them to you. Um, Humvee, you know, he losing his father,
Yeah.
and man, not just me getting emotional about it because I care for the guy, but we did his makings of you, okay,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna send you the clips on his making you. I sent them to Don too, and I said you do what you want to do with them because I was gonna do something, but I didn't
Hmm.
want to do anything prematurely. I really wanted something to say he's saying for his family,
Hmm.
but the way he was when I asked him how do you define joy, he brought up his parents.
Mm.
Like he brought his mom and daddy 3 times throughout that like, and he was in depth about it. I'm like, and I knew, and it's crazy because we made this a year ago, almost
Hmm.
exactly a year ago. Um, and it's crazy because he, when I talk about what's traumatic in my life, I can
Hmm.
bring up I don't say traumatic. When I ask what's impactful in your life,
Yeah.
you can say good or bad. I leave that for your interpretation, good or bad. But
Hmm.
he said good. It was his parents being there for him.
Hmm.
So if I ask him these same questions now, just 365 days later,
Yeah.
what would it be? And it would have to be this because I empathize with that. I feel that to my core.
Hmm.
And that's why I like when we, this between us, well, we are recording for everyone else, but I'm like, man, when I'm kind of like, hey, what y'all want to do? Because
Mhm.
if I either I'm gonna do something myself, but if
Yeah.
y'all want to do something as a group, we can do something as a group.
Yeah.
You tell me what you, and once again, I'm big on playing my part. When somebody asks for something, I ask every time, hey, you need this? Where the money going? Let me
Mhm.
get this because let me get this out the way, and because I'm gonna let y'all run it, and I'm gonna sit back. But I had as a friend, like if he
Mhm.
ever needs me, and I told DB, I'm here. That's personally, man. I'm because I
Yeah,
like
I had to
I
reach out to
understand.
him personally. I'm just like, hey, I know
Yeah,
we, know each other, but not know each other. But I'm here, and I heard about your dad, and I don't know what you need because I don't know how you feel. Because I hate when people
yeah,
say, I'm sorry for your loss, and I know how you feel. No, you don't.
and
So
exactly,
I don't say
exactly.
that. And I said, like, if you need to use me, if you need to call me to vent, whatever, like, just do it.
Yeah, and it
And
goes a long way.
yeah.
Cause man, cause when I lost my mother, it's like, and the way it's just one of those things that, that I think that's the hardest been with being in this pandemic thing. Cause once again, it's gonna be all right. They'll
Mhm.
maybe persevere, but people are losing people,
Yeah.
and but you could lose people with or without this pandemic,
Yeah. My one of my
um,
best friends, her mom passed away like I want to say 2 months after she had her son, or a month after she had her son, and her son came prematurely, like he was early. And she
mm,
stayed in Texas with her mom for a while. And a little bit after she left, she was planning on going back to go see her, and she couldn't get a hold of her. Her sisters couldn't get a hold of her mom, and they sent like a police officer and her mom's friend to her house, and she was just laid out in the house dead. And what's so
wow,
crazy is she's not the youngest of her siblings, but she's a middle child. And her mom left her like to be like the person for her everything, like her house, her business condo, her everything. And it's kind of like, how do you deal with that? Because it's COVID going on, and her mom's a nurse,
mm-hmm,
and they couldn't release any of that stuff until they had the reason of death, and they couldn't find that out for months. And it was crazy. It was just madness. And then she got a new house, and she can't really be 100% happy about her new house, and she got the baby, and it's kind of like,
mm-hmm.
what do you tell somebody when they going through that and you've never experienced losing a parent? So it was
Yeah, and that's
crazy.
and that's the thing about it, and the perspectives that we have are so unique. And once again, I'm not a professional. I'm really, man, find what you need to do. But
Yeah.
like the question you just asked, your why, your purpose.
Hmm.
Everybody, you need to know your purpose. My purpose, once again, is to do something I don't even fully understand, but I know I'm here for a reason. No matter what happened, you know, I'm a living, walking testimony. And that's why I'm saying I'm happy to, come on with here, and I want other people to share their testimonies as well.
Yeah.
Um, I like because you'll be so, and I know that this your thing. When I
Hmm.
tell when people come on and like with you'd be surprised how many other there Shans out here.
Yeah.
The extremely intelligent, low key, gorgeous, quirky, crazy as hell people you got out here.
Aw.
But it's something important to share those experiences
Mhm.
because it's a lot of other people, and it's not a dim the light. It's a lot of people that have, because I will say it's good and bad in the world. It's good and bad within all of us too.
This is my thing. You don't get really good people to the core until they've been dragged through something they didn't cause, and they made it through it.
Yeah, yeah,
Those are
yeah.
the
And I
good
think
people.
that's why I say my calling working with kids. I was in kids and elderly, man, but I say I work with kids, man, because I'm like, shoo. When I see these kids persevere some of these things, and trust me, I've seen some little assholes too, and I'm like, yeah, you go grow up and be something different. I'm like,
Look at
I
this
ain't even go.
demon seed.
I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's a couple, not a lot, but a couple. I'm like, Lord, get me
Yeah.
off this case, man. This little demon right here. I see, man. I had, I knew one little boy so bad. The judge said, if your mama just come back, we gonna give him back. We gonna give her
Ooh.
back to you. And mama just the only thing that mama didn't have to work no service or nothing. Mama just say, nope, y'all got him. I'm telling you,
Wow.
It's some wild stuff out here, y'all, man. But it's just the thing about it. I pray hopefully that young man is doing well in life right now. But
Mm.
I just sit back and I listen. I really do. I talk a lot, but I listen more than you ever know. I observe so many things, and I used to be. I walk that line. Should I fake it with you? Because some
Mm.
people don't know if they fake and they front, and I'm like, do they know or don't they know?
Some people
That's
play
what it is.
victimhood really good.
Oh my god! When I tell you, and I
Yeah.
was talking, and some people love it. I never been a fan of instigators. Never been a
Yeah.
fan of instigators. And when I see some instigators, and I'm like, I see what you're doing, and I be looking at other people. Y'all don't see this. Y'all don't see this. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's like
Yeah.
we adults now.
Yeah.
They were doing this stuff as we were children. We're grown adults now, and they're doing the
Right.
same thing. Like I saw this on the playground at the age of 10. I know what you're doing here.
I mean, some
Stop
people
that,
don't
man.
grow up. People don't mature, but that's why you gotta
Mm-mm.
filter out your people. It's important.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And even going to oh my gosh, we got, and once again, every my grandfather taught me two things: know how to read and know how to read and know how to count. Two things. He didn't even say right. Just know how to read and know how to count. Those are two things you need to know how to do.
Mm.
Period. Know how to do it well.
Mm.
And it goes back into why you don't end up getting writing your money off and you losing your money in a contract about someone like that,
Yeah.
or super gluing your hair to your head. By fixing.
Shout out to Gorilla. Ooh.
Can we start calling her Gorilla Gal?
Listen, she about to get what she need to get, honey. This scout about to come back to her tenfold.
Man, you think so?
Oh yeah.
Man,
Oh yeah.
oh god, oh my god, I can't say. That goes back to my old the way of society now. You get
Hmm.
rewarded for dumb shit.
Listen,
What's
this
good?
crazy. She
Shane,
verified
go.
now on IG because of
I
that.
saw that. I said she verified already. And was
Verified, honey.
I never want to block somebody's blessing, but is this a blessing or this just the devil? Because Shane, go super glue your hand.
No,
Go
no,
shit
no, no,
super
no, no,
because
no, no,
why
no, no,
not? Why
no.
not? Why not?
Nah.
You
I
can
need
come up.
this. I need
You
this.
can come up.
I
Fuck
got two
your hair. You can
daughters. I
shit.
got two daughters.
Like
You know that.
what?
I have to be
Go do it.
example.
Be, but that's you said it right there. You said it right there. What example are we leaving?
Yeah.
Because it's the
Yeah.
same thing with that little kid that was crying last year at the beginning of 2020
Got
when you talking about
paid
getting bullied. My
perfectly all
thing is,
right.
I like, and once again, me being, and it's not being this empathetic. I know bullshit. I'm like, something don't smell right about this. Something. I'm like,
Right.
mm-mm.
Right.
I just, but you know what? But if you speak out and say something, oh, you're a horrible person, blah blah
Oh
blah.
yeah,
That
yeah,
mob
yeah,
mentality kick in, and I'm
yeah.
like, but y'all don't see,
Yeah.
y'all don't want to question anything. Y'all just
Listen,
don't.
and
Y'all
that's
just want to
scary
believe.
that people don't question anything, they just take it. Okay, they said this. Who is they? Just like that orange man said you can fight this, COVID with bleach. And them
But
people
people, man, but we got some of these people in our circle too. Let's think about it. Like I'm like, keep it a
I
buck.
can't. I
But when
can't.
you said, but I'm telling you, I just look at life and just sit back and like this is. I don't watch a lot of dramas and stuff
Hmm.
because like we got life is. Look at what we living in. What you need to go watch something fictitious for when you got this shit happening in reality.
I mean, you over there playing the game, citizen.
Well, once again, I have control over the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good point. So, can you answer the question? Who is Drake?
Man, I am me.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I am me. I can't fully describe myself. You have to get to know me.
Hmm.
Because I don't know who I am
Hmm.
other than me. Then that's the paradox we have. I
Do you think
can't
we're
sit
really
up.
supposed to know ourselves fully? Or are we supposed to always be discovering things every day?
Absolutely. I would agree to that. And when you discovering things, you're discovering yourself. And man, maybe just when you die, that's when you find out who you are. You know,
Mhm.
man, because I can say I'm a real nigga because what does that what does that entail? Okay, Me,
Listen.
what does it mean to be other than how I'm black, but I don't consider myself the color black, in the culture. Somebody said I said something that was anti-black the other day, and I was like,
What?
what? Oh, that I said, because and once again, I was, how it's crazy that people try to paint you as a bad guy when you just simply state your thoughts and opinion. I
Yeah.
was like, I was raised to, and I said verbatim, I was raised to believe when you step out the house, you shouldn't step out with your house shoes, robe, or your
Oh, we talked about this.
furniture. Yeah, we
Yes,
talked
especially
about
last
that,
night. Like,
and somebody was like, "Well, that's anti-black," and I'm like,
it's not
"What?"
anti-black. It's about having
Yeah.
standards about
And
yourself
and
and
that's it.
presentation because it only takes one time.
And once again, I said it's not. I don't go out here and tell people you shouldn't be doing that, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I said that's how me and my people roll. Well, what does
Yeah.
that mean? That means you can't be part of you if you step. If I even my sister said she steps out with her dad, but she knows Somebody even said it. Well, I got to wear my bun on when it called because she respects me. Now, if you don't respect that, because you know what, I've been to the grocery store with house shoes on before. I ran and I felt bad about it because that's my but that's my moral compass. I do a
Yeah.
lot of other wild shit, but that's my moral compass. And whatever my moral compass is my moral compass. Whatever your moral compass, that's your moral compass. You live your life. But as long as I'm not prejudiced towards you, live your life. That's the thing. But when you try to change my mental process, try to change me for who I am, and you
Mm-hmm.
try to not it's once again, it's when you try to, it's okay to try to influence, but when you try
Mm-hmm.
to force, that's when it
Yeah.
become a problem with me. You can share your perspective and I can hear that. That's interesting. I never thought of it that way. I can sit back
Yeah,
and
I could
listen.
never go anywhere with any of my brothers with my scarf on my head or bonnet. That's out. And
Like
they'll
say
just
for
look
you
at me and be
clubhouse.
like, "Well, let me know when you're ready. We could go."
Like for instance, I got my sister have three. I got two nieces and a nephew for my niece. I know
Yeah.
she's doing to get these kids, but
Yeah.
when other guys are flirting with her and doing all this, I don't want to be around for that. Okay, and
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely normal in my opinion. But some
Yeah.
people, well, you're a double. Shut up, just shut up. Don't
I
try to
just feel like
change
it's
me.
very embarrassing when you take your child to daycare or camp and they put a sign on the door saying no bonnets or scarves allowed. Please dress appropriately to drop and pick up your kids. Like,
and
why does somebody have to tell you this?
and that's why I was when I was coming in. That was the conversation I was stepping off of on Clubhouse because somebody was giving me. I love the facts of things. Once
Yeah.
again, I like to know why things happen and
Yeah.
where things come. I love knowing that. And someone was actually saying, well, Josephine Baker
Mhm.
actually stated she wrote a whole article about stating why we shouldn't step out like that. And that's exactly how I was raised. It was like my grandfather raised me, grandmother, to like the women in my life. Women do this and that. And I used to say, they used to say to me, they said this to the other women in my family, men, you step out, you make sure you iron. I got in trouble for not ironing my clothes as a kid.
Yeah, it's old
Like,
school.
yeah. Yeah, and I was like, I always had to iron my clothes. I step out. You get your ass back inside. I don't give a damn. You late for school or not. You ain't gonna go out this house dressed like
There are
that.
things that happen in a black household before the day of the day.
Mm,
And it's
mm,
it's washing your butt.
mm,
It's making sure your hair is ready for tomorrow. It's setting out your clothes, ironing your clothes.
mm,
Sunday is ironing your clothes for the week.
Speak.
Um,
Hey,
listen.
my wife still be talking about. I used to still because now my clothes. I got a certain routine. We
Mhm.
technically clean most time, but when I tell you when we first started dating, and she used to see me iron out my clothes on one day of the week, she's
Yeah.
like, "You such a damn nerd." And I'm like, "Fuck, I'm like, I don't care. You ain't gonna catch me slipping, pimping."
Oh man,
But
it's
yeah, it's
hard to
about
find people like that still though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. My mom used to use the back room of the house in Philly for all of the laundry. It'd be like the laundry bed. If we had guests, it'll be their room. And she would have piles and piles and piles of undershirts, tank tops, briefs. My dad was white briefs, okay?
Oh Lord,
Um all his dress
I
pants
do
would
not
be
wear the
set to the
tidy
side so
whities
she
no
could
more.
iron it. The iron board was permanently standing up in that room, and she would just iron and fold his clothes all day. I'm talking about some of his shirts. You would see the deodorant stains in the pits, and he was like, "Fold that." And I'm just like, what? But I don't know.
Man,
Men ain't like
it's
that no
unique.
more.
Shit, you a lie. You a
I,
lie.
I I
I'm sorry.
appreciate a man that's like, okay, I need an undershirt. No, I need a tank top. I need an undershirt. Then I need my main shirt. Like what? And then just like how you like your hosiery, I appreciate a man dressed up with the sock holders. Like, oh my God, he got a strap to hold on his socks and suspenders too.
Really? You like
Yes.
sock holders?
I
Why
when
did
I
this never come
listen,
out?
when I worked in New
I'm the
York,
one being judged left and right. You
listen,
like
I
sock
worked
holders?
at one of my jobs because Jamaicans keep tree jobs. One of my jobs
Man,
was at Dunionburg on
got to go to
60th Street.
work.
It was on 60th Street, right? Between Park and Madison Avenue. And I would purposely get off on the N train and walk all the way up Park Ave early in the morning just so I could see the men in suits and sniff their cologne and aftershave. Like that was
Noted,
my
noted.
thing. That was my thing.
Fetish gang. Like
Listen, I said, ugh, yeah,
man, one thing I can't stand, and this is a country thing.
yeah.
But I know once again, I know how to dress, and this is the it goes into the makings of me and like who am I?
Mhm,
I was gonna mess with Leah, her sister. One day they saw me like right now dressed in a sweater,
mhm.
and they was like, "Oh my God, Drake wearing something other than a t-shirt." Never knew, and I'm like, "Do you know who I am?"
Right.
No, and then I'm like, "No, you don't know who I am because
Mhm,
y'all just see what I come on like on a
mhm.
Sunday night." Like I have so many suits up there, dress socks to
Yeah.
suspenders to ties, bow ties. Like you just saw what I used to wear in high school. I used to wear suit like I
Mhm,
was like walking around school with a like not a Leatherman jacket, but a
mhm.
sports club jacket. You know what I mean? That was me, you know? And
Yeah.
I like and one thing I learned that you should never wear it used to kill me. Once again, I don't shame dudes, but it used
Mhm.
to kill me when I see belts and suspenders on at the same time.
Boy.
I'm like, what is your country ass doing? And I know we country, but I was like, we
Boy.
got to stop doing that, y'all. Like, it's one or the other, one or the other. But it's oh, in college, I won a fashion show too.
See these fun facts?
Yeah, I be forgetting about that. But it's like, but now, I don't care. Like,
This is
I
why I
care.
say, like, if I could go back to any time period, it'd probably be like the 60s or the 70s for sure.
Somebody said that earlier. Somebody legit said in the clubhouse said that verbatim, and I was like, if you black, why the hell are you going back in time?
It's not even of
It-
of the politics and the stuff that was going on at the time because it was horrible. It's like the pride and blackness that we
and
had.
and
It
and,
was so
and
good.
that's and we still can't have it because trust me, the other stuff was back there too, y'all. Y'all just don't. The
Yeah.
only certain whoever writes the history makes history. We
Mhm.
understand that whoever until you got people like me that do a little
Mhm.
bit more research deep in it. Like a lot of people thought Rosa Parks just that was all just natural, her sitting on that bus and getting thrown off. None of that was all planned.
Yeah.
Every single part of that was planned. It
Yeah. But
wasn't just
until
her.
somebody tells the other story, that would be the only story told.
That's what I'm saying. There you go.
Mm.
Same thing you would think Christopher Columbus found this continent.
Yeah. And
Same
then
thing
and
you would
wasn't
think.
it another girl did it, but because she was pregnant, she was looked down upon, so nobody wanted to talk about that.
It
She
was a dark skinned woman. It was a dark skinned girl. She was in high school, but she was pregnant.
yeah.
She was looked at as far not only she was pregnant and she was looked at as a floozy, she
Mhm.
was also dark skinned. And they
Mhm.
knew that. And they knew
Mhm.
getting a fair skinned woman to do so would be fine. So I'm telling you, it was, but that's how they worked. They worked ahead to make it seem like you had to play that game. And that's sometimes I don't want to play that game, but then I have to sit back. That game has to be played at times. And that's why I look at Jay-Z. It's like I'll show you how to move in a room full of vultures. Like you got to
Yeah.
be that vulture sometime to make progress for the greater good. And while you're doing it, people are not gonna like you for doing it. Then you got people like Kaepernick is gonna sacrifice themselves, but you got to work with the good. You gotta am I making sense? Is it too
Balance.
deep for some? Yeah, it's that balance because that's
Yeah.
how you make progress. And I'm like, man, and it was somewhere else. I was looking like, oh my gosh, I know this is, you know, I can talk,
Hmm.
but some black folks got upset at me the other night, and it was some. Once again, 'cause I'm big on like what's really happening,
Yeah.
and we were doing some black history trivia, and one of the cards, and it was on a card, and it said, basically a black guy, and what was the black guy known for? And I like, creating popsicles. And they're like, close, that's crazy, close. And they're like creating ice cream. I like in the
Mm.
1930s.
Hmm.
Nah, you see how I take my time and I go and I do some research
Yeah.
because we have Google right at our fingertips.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right.
Let's see what it's really about. Man, I like because ice cream kind of old. Ice cream is going around. I don't know if we can give all the ice cream to one black man in the
Yeah.
1930s. Like I'm a fat boy.
Yeah.
Man, he didn't create ice cream. He like modified by adding salt to it. I said, but we can't say he created ice cream. But how
Yeah.
you know that wasn't a lie? Well, I'm just gonna go with it and just I'm gonna tell my kids. So I'm like, aren't you perpetuating the same thing that white people are doing by lying and shit? Should we want to
Exactly.
stop that? Shouldn't we want to go to that
Exactly.
point of telling the truth and like, because that's why insane thing I hear so much about patriarchy, and I'm like, well, we need matriarchy. I'm like, shouldn't we just want equality for one another,
That's
get that equity
why
so we get to
all the
that level?
conversation on Twitter yesterday about, I thought we was boycotting football and everybody talking about football. And the same people that talked about boycotting football that watched football yesterday and the same time want to talk about, well, I'm just waiting to see what Jay-Z do. What are you doing? Why are we waiting for one
Hey,
black man to do the bigger difference?
mm, why do we have to have a leader? Why can't we all be leaders in our own respect?
Because
We all have to
it's
move.
too easy to be comfortable into the old way, where the new way in an inventive way takes more work and people are lazy.
Man,
And we
let me
could
tell you
all do it
this.
because if you this is how I look at football.
You know who haven't
Who
watched one game of football this year?
I haven't watched football in 3 years.
But
I
man, hey,
refuse.
I believe you. I
Listen,
and same.
football ain't nothing but a different location of the plantation.
Mm,
You might sprinkle a little bit more white men in there, some Hispanic men, some from a Latino background or whatever. Where
Southeast,
listen,
Southeast Asian,
Hawaiian, whoever, right? But
Pacific Islanders.
mostly black people of darker skin tones were brought here decades and decades and decades ago to entertain European descent people. And we are still
Mm,
entertaining them, but we have no stake in anything that they find entertainment in,
mm-hmm.
right? So you're
Right.
picking the biggest, you're picking the fastest, you're picking the tallest in some sports, you're picking the strongest black men to play your game and make you billions and billions and billions of dollars. But they cannot be any owners. The way they have it set up is the ownership of the NFL is pieced by people who have piece of the puzzle
Mm-hmm.
of the cost, and they
Mm-hmm.
pass it down in generations and generations and generations. And unless you marry into that family and you are a part of that will that's gonna go ahead and get that when somebody dies and falls off, you will never get in. And until we can get in some way of ownership, it means nothing.
But you don't think they thought about this already?
Hell
This
yeah.
how hard it would be to get in there. Look how they did Prince Harry when he married a black woman.
Yeah.
That motherfucker had to leave, give
It,
up,
it, it was
give up.
he
Do you
didn't
know how
have to he
big
didn't have to leave, but for
chose?
sanity
Oh,
reasons,
oh, they
it
will.
just made more
I think that,
sense.
and I still think they go. I think they would have. Look what they did to his mother.
Oh yeah.
Like we all know that was. They go. People will kill people to keep things in their lineage.
Oh,
Simple as
for
that.
facts. We see other ethnicities do it with, my daughter wanted to have a black boyfriend and I was against it. So I set up somebody to murder him, or I murdered him. And
Or
they have
her
no
too.
shame. Or
And
her.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And that's one thing they would take out their own. Why the hell you don't think they'll take out you? I be telling people that's what I say. Yeah, Chris Rock joke about it, but he said, "Man, why they one bad motherfucker?"
Oh
It's like,
yeah. But I've
He.
seen it. I've seen it with other cultures too. There's a documentary. I forgot what
Oh
the
yeah.
guy's called, where he killed his daughters because they didn't want to go overseas to India and marry in, you know, their culture, and they didn't want to go overseas. So he murdered his daughters. He shot them, and then he disappeared. And the family covered it up, and it's still covered up to where their father's whereabouts is. And his wife, the mother of those girls, covered it up. So
It's wild shit out here, bruh. I mean, sis, darling, I'm telling you.
it's just madness. People gonna do what they
Mm.
want to do, but it's important to be aware and, like you said, observe. So
Mhm.
you know,
Crazy, crazy, crazy. So I'm gonna ask you. So I'm trying to adjust because I'm loving the makings of you. I
okay.
love it, and a lot of people want to come on the makings of you, and it's easy since now we can do it on Instagram, just like boom, boom, boom.
Hmm.
Should I increase? I want to get to the point. I want to start dropping the makings of you, like maybe once to 3 times a week, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna do a topic episode every 2 weeks.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think you should
Is
do
that
it.
too confusing?
No, you should do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Hmm.
and then the topic episode. I don't know if you want to incorporate that into your Sunday episode.
Well, the Sunday is supposed to be for a catch up for it's supposed to be a recap, but
Okay.
nobody watched the damn episode, so it's kind of hard to do a recap. Like, anybody watched the episode? No, we ain't watched it yet. Well, and it's kind of, I want to like, well, let's talk,
Yeah.
because we're supposed to. The main part of Sunday is to talk about the episode.
Okay.
So, that's why I'm gonna like really. I usually use it like a chill spot, but I'm really gonna start cutting in. Like, hey, this is what we talked about in this episode. This is we're gonna replay. This was the conversation. This is what was going on.
Like
So that's what
clips.
I'm gonna start pushing on. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like an old man trying to work some of this stuff on like through Zoom.
You're not old, you seasoned, but you could do it. I believe in you.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just I'm just like next season, season 11, I'm gonna slow it down because I'm gonna focus on the meaning behind the number 11, which is really
Mm.
good, and make, each episode purpose driven and put it smack
I
dab
like
in the
that.
middle of the week.
Hey,
Something to think about.
podcast. That's what I
Yeah.
call us, the podcast with a purpose. Like,
Yes.
I would say, if you don't learn anything from any of my podcasts, I did a huge disservice.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't care what we're talking about. If you, that's what I need. I want to like. I need to start getting more acquainted with using social medias more,
Hmm.
because I want to start asking questions to people. So my main question, I want to be like, so what did you learn today? So like, for instance, Shane, what did you learn today?
I learned that it's better to be prepared than to not, especially
Mm.
since I started work at 7 o'clock this morning. I didn't get the login until 11:30.
Oh shit.
But that wasn't on my part. That was the company not giving people their VPN codes
Mm.
yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I it also gave me a perspective of when you have bad business management, you lose money.
I saw that tweet. Was that a tweet or was that a?
Yes.
Okay,
Cause I
I
was
saw that
just like,
tweet.
this makes no sense. I want to say I made $150 by sitting at my desk and doing nothing like this, just eat my breakfast. No,
But they expect, being in HR, they expect those type of losses
that's
sometimes. That's what
crazy. It's
my
not
wife is
needed.
in business continuity, but that's what some things are. But we're not see, I told that line that we're not machines. Now,
We're
when we get
not
to the point,
machines, but
but when
I
we
feel
get to
like
that
things
point,
can be done in a more efficient way.
exactly
Just like
agree.
this whole COVID thing. If they really
Oh,
wanted
see,
to limit people from spreading it, why didn't you close the travel for people who are not?
why did they have the Super Bowl open yesterday?
Because they don't care. It's,
Because
it's like washing a hand to wash a hand. If I pay you X, Y, and Z, how about you not be as strict when it comes to the Super Bowl so I can make X, Y, and Z money?
let it game civilization. Because you'll understand there's something called overpopulation.
It's
And when
crazy.
you have overpopulation, especially even in the world, then you got powers to be that say, hey, We need to thin the herd, and that's why I hate hearing the term. One of the main reasons I remember you asked a question about the one of your clips
Mm-hmm.
about getting a vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard someone use the term, well, we got to use a herd mentality. Herd mentality.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't
Yeah.
like that at all.
But that tells you that we sheep to them.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, once again, play that. Once again, civilization. It shows you when you're in control
I'm
and you
just
can
like,
see it.
it isn't
And
nobody
when
that's gonna force me to inject my children with something y'all don't know shit about. And as long as
and
my
what
kids is at home and they doing school at home and I'm working from home, we good.
and, and they try to put you on punishment. Like when you, that's how I feel about. Do you watch Black Mirror?
I watch. I don't think I watched all the episodes, but I watched most of them.
You of all people need to watch Black Mirror. I don't know. You know what? Don't watch Black Mirror, Shane. I don't want to put you in
Why?
a because I think it would like. Did you watch season 3, episode 1?
Which one was that? The one
The
with
one with the
the
white
phone.
girl,
And I didn't like that one. It was too far fetched for me.
the one with the white girl, and
Yeah,
she was
and
going
you
to the
could see.
wedding.
Mm, no, I watched the one with the white girl, and you could see like all the computer shit over people's heads and stuff. Kind of like a Sims.
Yeah, that's probably the one. Well, I think it's one you can see her social media score.
Yeah.
Watch that again. Give it another chance. I'm telling you, this scares because once again, back in the day when I used to get inebriated and I used to have conversations, and I remember telling my wife, I'm like, she thought I was bullshit, and it scared me when I watched the episode. I'm telling, I was having this conversation like 2 months prior
Yeah.
that I think social media is going to take over for credit. I think it's going to that's going to be the new credit. That's going to be like the new way because it's a belief. Cash is nothing but a belief system. Look
Yeah.
at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like one. It 6,000. What it's like? Was it $3,000? 3,000 Bitcoin is. I apologize. Make sure I'm saying this correctly. You got to have like $3,000 to get one Bitcoin. It's like the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the belief behind it, okay? So look how many people buying followers, buying likes, buying all these things right here,
Mm-hmm.
becoming influencers. The
Mm-hmm.
girl that glued her head, hands over her scalp to her head is got a blue check. Look how people act in what's this game? What's this app called? Clubhouse when you get that little moderator badge, green
Yeah.
bean. It's a belief. Person that you don't live in, you live outside of that. And like people talking about, somebody legit told me the other day, you better watch what you say. And it was mean that you gotta, you getting like kind of loud. I got the green bean. Don't like put you in check. I like, you can't put shit in check with me. Don't get this shit twisted. Don't get the fuck wrong. I like, you for real about
Man,
that?
I was in a room the
That's
other
all.
day and I called Greg and I was lit. I was in the room the other day and the room, I can't even remember what the room was called, but it was like something to do with podcasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was two moderators up there and one other person, and they both had the green star thing or whatever.
Badge. Yeah.
And one of the main lady, she only was 3 months in on her podcast, but you got a whole room giving advice on podcasting. And then the other
Man,
guy, I don't even know if he had a podcast. So I was
the
listening to
cappuccino.
listen, I was listening to people talk about their podcast and questions about their podcast. The girl before me got up there and she was like, "So I have a question. I experienced something traumatic personally, and I have a podcast, but my podcast audience is not pertaining to what I experienced. I want to talk about basically the loss of a child." And she was like, "I don't know if I should talk about it on my main podcast with the audience that I have and lose them possibly, or should I do like a separate podcast for it?" So, I have Cozy Moon Podcast.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they were after she finished her question, they were silent. So I unmuted and I said, "May I say something to her?" And nobody said shit. So it was like dead space. So I just went ahead and I was like, "Hey, so I have such and such podcast and I have this podcast, and this podcast is primarily for parenting and all about kids, and that's why I separated them." So I finished talking and the girl was like, "Okay, The girl, the moderator at the top, basically repeated what I said. But bitch, you had no answers before she spoke. You was gonna leave her with dead space. So she reiterated what I just said. So when it was my turn to speak, she I told her, I said, well, you know, I'm a podcaster. I have a few shows. I didn't come up here with a question about my podcast. I came up here as a resource for anybody that had questions pertaining to
You're
their
the hardest working
to
woman in this
help. I
podcast
said I
game. What they
wanted to
talking
help.
about?
So once I said that I have, you know, Cozy Womb podcast and I started explaining it, she's like, today is the day where we want to get questions from people who have questions about podcasting. We have this every Tuesday and Friday. If you would like to come on as a moderator to talk about your resources, you can, but today is not it. That's not what we're looking for.
Hey, Shan, once again, just like
What?
Shan, when I be seeing you in some of these spots, I'm like, start your own.
But I don't
I'm,
want
I'm
to
gonna,
though. I don't. My plate
but you
is
got
full,
to.
honey. My plate is full.
I know,
I
I
can't.
understand,
But
but
I'm
you
just
better
like
stop.
it's just the rudeness that kill me. Like you could have said
Hey,
whatever you
cause
wanted to say after, but to cut me off and you have 3 months in, girlfriend. I said
once
whatever
again,
I said whatever I was going to say could have answered 15 people's questions in this audience.
Shan, it's the cappuccino. Okay, I understand. It's there and it's not going anywhere. It was several rooms yesterday talking about why y'all get on here lying so damn much. Like, and it was one room about a black woman that, like, once again, I'm gonna say this to you. I love my black women.
Yeah. Not the deep breath.
And this does not go out to all of y'all at all. It don't go out to most of y'all. It don't even go out to half of y'all. It
Yeah.
goes out to a select few that's continue to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But so, and if any men following this, it goes for y'all motherfuckers too. But all this scamming shit,
Oh
please stop.
yeah.
I'm asking politely, please stop. And y'all don't even know y'all scamming and y'all scamming. One girl, she didn't even know she was a damn scammer herself. She got scammed because she was trying to scam with somebody else and she got out scammed. Bitch, get it the fuck out of here. Man, somebody get her the hell out of here, man. Like and she in here crying for it. But she was in the wrong room for it. Because the people in the room for it, majority of people in the room for it saw it. I heard when she said she slipped up and said, yeah, I do the same thing and kept talking like nobody heard that. No, he just out scams you, boo boo. That's what happened.
And
You get, but you don't hear it because you a pretty girl. You don't ain't got the BBL. You ain't got the titties uplifting and shit. You got the waist snatch and all that. And you trying to
and
come
there
up and
are
you thought you
rooms for
found you.
people like that though.
But she coming into a base. She got the whole bio put together. La 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 la. You just said, baby girl, you said you made all this money, and you just said you was homeless for like 3 months, couldn't pay your rent, but you in your bio, sorry, boo. You in your bio talking about you business management strategic. When she said strategy, she said something. She couldn't pronounce the word that she used in her word. Like, bitch, what? You doing the same thing? Get out of here. Same thing when people when they start these room, they got this stuff going ahead, and just because they cop, y'all better stop looking at the slick talkers and pretty faces. I was told about to watch out for that. I don't know who didn't tell y'all, but I'm sorry.
It's just
Ooh,
like I don't
ooh.
understand the stamina and the confidence that people have. Like, where you bought that
The
at?
gall,
Like
the gall.
the confidence.
What did Kiki Palmer say? The gag is you was not there. Like, but I'll be sitting back looking at you lying motherfucker. You I
You
was like just
can't.
keep it going. Once
Madness.
again, it just but, but I was raised around gamers. I was raised around
Yeah.
pimps and players. I
Yeah.
came from that. I see your stuff coming from a mile away, and I know. But the thing about it, now you want me to feel sorry for you because you got caught up in the game.
Yeah, there was one in there in the room I was in crying. It was about manifesting. And she was in there crying about, you know, how she don't have a job and tears, but she's a music artist and she got music that motivates people, and she be getting all this money and she don't know where this money's coming from, and it's just coming. And she was like, I manifested this. And then you got people talking about, well, I know some people in the music industry, when you see me in a room, just come through, blah blah blah. I'm like, sis. And to think I wanted to listen to this while I was doing my hair. Exit left. It'd be too much.
Let me go and slide on out.
It'd be too much. But I appreciate this, Drake, as always.
I always appreciate you.
As
You are
always.
awesome people.
You know
Every
what
time
I'm
you get a
saying?
chance, from the mature to the wild, I appreciate it. I really do.
Yes.
But but I'm excited. I love having you being part of the podcast fan with you.
Facts. I'm there.
Man,
I be so jealous, when everybody in Texas going out with each other. But one
I do
one
too.
day, one day it will be us
Yeah.
all. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what I was okay. You could be the first. I meant to tell Baylor this first, but I'm gonna tell you first. Instead of just going somewhere just like I know they used to like Denver. I want to make a trip to Africa.
Ooh. Hmm. I think
That's how I'm feeling.
I do want to go to Africa, but I think I can't do nothing less than a week.
Okay.
A week there, like a month.
No, I'm talking about like, you saying that I can do like a 2 weeks. I want to be there at least two. I want to be there so like I want to be there with other black people that want to do more things for black people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we can actually take photos and pictures and experience this stuff together and learn with one another. Um, that's what I want to see. We can go to all these other places just to have fun, but I think Africa would be fun and educational. I think it would be
I want to
growth for
go
all of
to
us.
Africa with a full suitcase and come back with a light suitcase and a full inside. If that
I want
makes
to go to
sense.
Africa. I want to go to Africa with an empty suitcase and come back with a full suitcase. If that makes sense.
Mm. Yes,
But
like, it's kind of like
I
a
love
trade
that
for a
thought.
trade. Like a
Yeah, I
trade
love
for a
that thought process
trade.
though.
Yes. Yeah.
That was very. See how we put that together right there. I like that. I like
Yes.
that
But what is
because
that? A 13-hour flight, 14-hour flight?
I don't know, man.
Baylor and I would definitely have to be on edibles.
Like anywhere y'all gonna be, y'all ain't gonna be in edible.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't. That's the last place I'm gonna be edible in Africa because I don't know.
I
I was
mean, I'm
like, but
just
I
talking
be
about
seeing.
on the flight
I be
though, because
on the flight.
when I
Okay.
did a 6-hour flight from New York to LA, I almost lost it.
Mm.
There was no
What?
iPad that can help me. There was no magazine that can help me. There was no phone that can help me. I'm just like, I want off this plane.
Trust me. I try to like knock myself out. I take like a melatonin or two
Mm-hmm.
out of there, like a baby, like
Mm.
slobber dog. Only thing they be pissed me off be because I don't like. I am scared of heights.
Oh,
So I don't like the window seat, and
I
that
love the
perfect for my
window seat.
wife because she loves the window seat. So it
Yeah.
works out. See, but the only thing about sitting on the outside is when they hit you, especially having wide shoulders, is them hitting the shit out your damn elbow, your
No, if
shoulders
I
when you
go,
sleep.
I have to have like those own individual spaces, like how they be having.
First
That's the only way I'll
class,
go.
okay.
That's the only way
She
I'll
got
go.
money, y'all. Like,
Just saying.
like
Soon come. Soon come. Speak it into existence.